In this series, we'll be looking at how to navigate Blackboard, specifically your science course, and what the requirements are. And of course, at the end, you will take a short quiz to see if you've learned what you need to learn. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get logged into Blackboard. Mine comes straight to the district, but you could actually just go to, any search engine you have, and then type correctly. And generally the one with Sarasota in it is the first one. And then you want to put in your N number. Mine's an A number, but you would have an N number. And then you're in. And over here you have your list of classes, and there's some announcements and things like that. If you wanted to find a class, you could put in the teacher's last name, see if you could find it, but then your enrollment might be based on either using a password, or the teacher might have set it up so that you can only log in or only get the class if they put you in. Mine's set up so students can enroll themselves with a password. One thing you might want to not do is, if you noticed, you can grab and kind of move these around. I wouldn't recommend it, because then when you're getting instructions on how to do stuff, the boxes will be in different spots and then you can't find them. So over here are all my classes. This is where you'll see your classes. One thing you can do is, if you don't want to see old classes, like I have 18, 19, 18, 19, but I have these 17, 18s around from last year. So if I click on this gear, I don't want those last year courses, it's annoying and there's too much to look at. And I'm going to look here, and wherever it's checked here, it says class name. This means I'm going to show the class name. So I'm going to get rid of all the ones by unchecking. That's a 17, 18. And then hit submit. And all I'm left with is my 18, 19 classes. Obviously, the only bad thing about doing this is if you accidentally uncheck a class that you're currently in, you will be like, I'm not in the class. So you just got to click back here and you can just add it back in. So I'm going to look for one of my 17, 18s, put it in there, and then it's back. Alright, so I'm going to go into, let's go into my last year's class just to give you a look. I'm going to give you a preview. The links are set up on the left here. It's set up so that it comes to the calendar automatically. The calendar is used for what we're doing, so this happens to be the end of the school year for us. So this is some of the stuff we did with all that testing interruption that was going on for the 8th graders. And you can click on everything here. Over here we have all of the main links. Wherever you have a test, they'll be here. Anything for your parents will be here. How to sign up for a Mind, announcements, things like that. Your class activities are set up by weeks. So generally I put the week number, and I put, like, of the quarter, and I put the name of the assignments. So in week 1 of this quarter we did light mini labs, EM spectrum, and we had a test review. So if students miss a day of school, or if they don't finish something in class, all you got to do is click there. This was used for something we did in class. Here is the makeup assignment right here, and you would just click on it. And generally there's some instructions, some background information, usually to teach you what you're supposed to be learning, and then there's some sort of questions to answer. And you can see that there's 8 weeks here because we're in our 8th week of quarter 4, which means next week is the last week of school. Over here, homework, and we'll talk about this later. And then my progress. My progress is where you would go to see your grades, and we'll get to that. And then you can see something here that says extra credit. From time to time we do extra credit, but do not rely on that. Generally you just need to keep up with your classwork. Well, that's the end of navigating Blackboard, the basics. You've completed it. Next up, you'll be learning how to use Blackboard to keep informed.